Thank you, Mr. Lamalfa, and for allowing me to join you today and to discuss this horrid and tragic situation in Southern California, truly a national emergency. And note I call this a national emergency. Why? Because soon Congress will be sending hundreds of billions of dollars to California to help clean up this mess and rebuild. But the most basic level of common sense demands that we not send billions upon billions to California without first looking carefully at the causes of this catastrophe, and when they are identified, making sure these causes will be addressed and resolved. The sad benefit that will come from understanding the cause of these southern fires, California fires, and also of understanding why California fire protection systems failed, isn't limited to California. Every state is facing hotter and drier conditions. Every state must do a far better job adapting to these conditions. We need to look at what these horrific fires caused them, what they did wrong or what we do wrong in trying to put them out, and then apply those lessons accordingly. You might ask why these questions were not asked and answered in any of the other fires we've been suffering that were referred to by Congressman Lamalfa a few minutes ago. We've certainly had enough up in Oregon and Northern California. But people in positions of authority perhaps haven't been listening. Perhaps it's because those affected didn't have the political clout, or perhaps the actions that need to be taken, such as cleaning up our forests, are viewed as politically incorrect. But there is little doubt that this time around, those who have been hurt in Southern California are politically powerful, and they can do something about this, and we want them to. And that means doing something about adapting to warmer, hotter, and drier. There's a separation, I guess, in how we approach our response to changing climate. One approach is to invest billions, as California has done, in mitigation, that is reducing CO2, and the other is to recognize it's going to stay this way for a very long time. It was said by members of the Climate Commission at Oregon State University that if we stopped all CO2 production today, our climate would not improve for between 30 and 40 years. During this period of time, we're going to see a repeat of what we're seeing in Southern California unless we do something about it. And what is that something? Well, the first thing to do is recognize that money you put into mitigation is not going to be available for adaptation. And when I say adaptation, I mean protecting people from the kinds of events we're now seeing occur in Southern California. We absolutely have to do this. Wishing this away or blaming it on climate change and shrugging one's shoulders that this isn't happening will not work. California is raising literally billions of dollars through clean fuel standards, cap and trade devices, and other things, but they're not investing it in protecting their people. They are not. And so I would hope that those who are watching Congressman Lamalfa and me today would reach out to their Congress folks and they would say, we want you to do something. We want you to not just come in and help repair and clean up, which we will do, but also we want you to try to stop the damage that's being done to our forests. We actually want you to do something. There will be an opportunity, I think, perhaps as early as next week to vote on Bruce Westerman's Fix Our Forest Act. It would go a long ways to making our forests look like this. And why wouldn't we be doing this? What's happening now is certain folks are filing lawsuits to stop us from going into the woods and cleaning them up so that they're not destroyed by wildfire. We could do the same thing in places like Southern California by working on water delivery systems and by working on storing more water and having better abilities to put out fires once they start. Even though this was a, I hope, rare event with these cataclysmically driven winds, this will happen again. And it's happened in Oregon over and over. It's happened in Northern California over and over. It's time for us to do something about it. The people who are listening today can do something about it. They can get on the phone and they can call. They can call their congressmen, women, and say, we need your help. I'm going to yield back, but I want to thank again Congressman Lamalfa for taking the time today to bring this issue to the attention of the American people. And I think it's incumbent upon the American people to step up, call their congressman, and let's do something about it. I yield back to the congressman.